here as much. Alright. There. Hello, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, one of the minions and one of the stars of the On Location at Pine Hill series. Producer, creator, editor, director of the original On Location at Pine Hill. Today we had a special guest in the studio, and we'll show you clips from that of Jim, one of the Minion stars and one of the Minions' former leaders. The Minions will be in the studio, and he also starred in Starcrackers, The Sphere of Influence, our sci-fi movie. He had 2 or 3 lines, and he couldn't really say them. Actually, the bloopers with him are funnier than the answers. There's a lot of bloopers with him on there. This particular episode was the rebel Jim, who is rebellious and talks hostile, but is actually not going to do anything malevolent or evil. He is merely playing a character. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. Oh my goodness. Biting boy. And I'm in a Batman shirt. Jim's in an X-Men shirt thing. All the Marvel characters.
Yeah, they look pretty grouchy on this T-shirt.
They look pretty grouchy.
Playing with Kitty.
Playing with Kitty. Yeah. So when did you come to Pine Hill? Yes.
I come in
year?
97. Did I come to?
90? No, earlier.
Earlier than that. I don't know.
86 probably.
86.
Or 86. Yeah, we were done with high school by 97.
Yeah, that's
86. True. Yeah. So yeah. What was your first impression when you walked into the Pine Hill and the self class and all that stuff?
Well, I was a little surprised and everything. Everybody was all hyperactive and everything. Everybody was really hyper and everything, and climbing the walls and everything. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, we were hyper back then. Still hyper on the show. But yeah, look at the kitty. So yeah, back in the Minions. This is one of the original Minions. So yeah. So yeah, the Minions was originally not really a gang. We were just sort of comic book dorks, sort of. A little bit, maybe. We weren't violent or anything.
We're just goofy as hell.
We're really strange, goofy as hell, and and Angie was. By the time you came there, Angie was the leader.
Yeah.
Before she wasn't there yet. But actually, yeah. So she came in '85 with Tim. And I came to Pine Hill in '84, a little bit earlier, January '84, because they had decided that at my school at Senate School, they decided we should put all of the junior high 7th graders and keep them in grade school for another year. And of course, the 7th graders at Rancho were merciless, and yeah, they were out to destroy all those 7th graders that were held back a year, even though we weren't. So I was in the office an awful lot for detention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up at this weird place, and where they thought wrestling was a good idea. I didn't, so I didn't participate. And then I ended up at Pine Hill. So what was your first impression of like me and Tim and Angie? We were like,
nice
silly,
people, cool people.
And me and Tim, we run into Transformers, and actually Martha got me interested in Transformers. She bought my first Transformer. It's her fault. But yeah, so the Transformer, Sideswipe was my first Transformer. So yeah, we were cool, and we introduced you to the Decepticons, and you liked them. Yeah.
I liked them automatically.
Because they were Decepticons. Because they're the villains.
They're out for world destruction and everything, and bent on destroying the human race and everything. I was into that. Because
it was like, yeah, it was all.
I could relate to the Decepticons. I couldn't relate to the Transformers because
the Autobots.
Crime and everything was all.
Autobots were good, yeah.
Autobots were good guys and everything, and they just like Prime's all, we can't kill humans, and oh brother, come on, Prime.
So it's funny that during the Pine Hill days we would do You would aim their fusion cannon, because you heard about Megatron, and you would get a paper towel roll. Because they had kitchens in the classroom. So.
Yes, they did. And I said,
a kid's school, cooking school.
I pointed at Rick and said, "Die, Rick."
Die, Rick. And he was one of the teachers, and he was like, "Okay, that's a warning, timeout." And they would put us in timeout, and we were like freaking in 8th grade or 9th grade. It's like,
I know.
Timeout, really? Freaking in 8th grade, really? At that point, 7th or 8th grade.
I think I'm a little old for this, Rick.
And Mr. Art, he would stare like he thought that worked. Like, you are being immature. Like, no, your staring is not going to work. It looks stupid. And then meditation. Meditation. Let's make us relax by doing meditation. What was wrong with the self class?
It was a self class. That's the problem.
Choice. Choice was okay, but
they were fine. It's like, they were just trying to teach us and everything. We were just so wound up like clocks and everything.
Yeah, we were
sit still. Because I was bored, hyperactive.
ADHD, yeah.
I
didn't have ADHD though. I had autism. But I was hyper too. I didn't calm down either. Mostly because I would drink like tons of Coca-Cola at 7-Eleven at school. I'd be like,
well, now they have.
We were the original Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
I am Cornholio.
We did it perfectly.
I am Cornholio. Shut up, Beavis. So I was in the 7th grade. I came to the self class, and my sister said, find the stoner person that's friendly. Find the biggest guy you can find, if you're a friendly guy. Find a crazy one and a couple others, and that's exactly what I went for. Find a shy one and get to know him too. And it's like okay, Tim, he's really big, so there's the big guy. Angie was the stoner, and Jim was the.
I was just the. I was just gone.
Hyper guy.
I was gone.
Yeah,
I always got in trouble.
Yeah. And we got in trouble too equally.
Timeout room.
Yeah, they had this room that they cordoned off in the self class where it was just like walls, like 2 walls next to the walls, and there was a door. And it didn't have a ceiling, so you could like climb over it, which Angie figured out.
I climbed on top of the self class. I climbed on top of the timeout thing.
Oh,
I went up there and said hi.
I did it too.
Jim, get down from there.
Angie was sitting up there one time and they said like, "Where's Angie?" And I said,
"She's up there."
Oh, her legs are down again. She's like, and she had like all these timeout and everything. Remember you guys had all this timeout for something? Like written on the board, the blackboard. They had these green chalkboards back then. And she, oh, it's time for us to go. I'll just erase it. Goodbye. We left. We were kind of evil.
Kind of.
We were Decepticons.
Yeah, they left the classroom and everything, and the new teacher came in and everything. So you erased all the timeouts, and she just let us go. We're sitting there laughing our asses off all the way to Carl's Jr.
And then the bus. We got on the bus. I went back there, now to daycare. It's funny. The passageway to sneak out in the back is still there. It's behind the ivy. It's still there. Which was funny because like we would sneak out, and we could sneak out of the school. But it's like we could totally be seen as we were sneaking all the way to the passageway. There's this open field and then there's a fence. It's like they can see us like escaping. And it's really obvious. And then on the other side of the fence, they can totally see us.
I know. Climb on top of the fence and everything. They're like,
there they are.
There they go.
We're totally escaping from you, Rick. Yeah, we were a little bit evil. Tim was the big guy. John was the quiet guy. But
yeah.
Like quietly menacing marks cards, as he says on the show. march cards, and that's what we call ourselves on the internet. We would draw pictures of death and destruction.
I remember that part.
We draw pictures of death and destruction. We draw Teddy Ruxpin getting killed, having his head severed off, or he'd be a killer and he'd have like a knife, or he.
Everybody made Teddy Ruxpin evil.
Everybody, and I drew a picture of Megatron standing over the Pine Hill, blowing up the South Glass with his fusion cannon, and he's like, Megatron, I destroy the South Glass. I'm surprised we didn't get in trouble back in the 80s for doing that. Because if a kid did that now, he'd end up in the shrink's office with counselors and everything all over him going like, are you really going to destroy the school? Really with a fusion cannon? Really? Like, no. They'd be all freaked out.
They would, and now you get a lot of trouble for doing that, dude.
Yeah, because we
would totally freak out. They would come, the cops would come, they'd draw their guns on you. Oh my God, he's going to blow up the school.
It's like, no.
We got to throw it away.
Yeah.
How am I going to blow up the school? You wrote the picture down. You made the picture right there. Look. See right there.
Yeah, they'd be all paranoid.
I know, it's a picture, so.
It's like, I don't have weapons.
I don't have any weapons, dude. I don't have any grenades or anything. I'm not going to blow up this stupid school.
Yeah, so we got away with drawing stuff like that. Cause it is interesting, though, that we discussed, and we discussed it before, Mark Scards and I, on the other tape. We discussed the violent tendencies where we drew up these fantasy stories where, we would destroy the school with a Decepticon cannon or whatever. Well, and as he pointed out in the story, yeah, if a kid did that today, he'd end up in therapy and then in jail. But back at Pine Hill, you were able to do stuff like that. We didn't mean it. I think that's the difference. It's like, unlike those numerous news school shooting things, we didn't mean it. We didn't really have like a fusion cannon or guns or blow up explosives. We didn't have any of that stuff. So to say, yeah, we weren't going to do anything like that. It's not going to happen like that. Okay, not funny. It's odd. It's interesting that he mentioned in the video here that actually the Minions to him was kind of a gang, kind of a gang with the school. I didn't picture it that way though at the time. I was like, no, it wasn't. No, we didn't do anything violent. We just talked about it. Well, it's not the same thing. So a little bit of a yeah. Okay, what about the cute girls in Pine? They're all cute, interesting.
Angie, Arlene, Charnel.
Yeah, she actually appeared at my 16th birthday back then, and she was actually at my birthday party. Another Pine Hill student that wasn't technically in the Minions, but she got to come.
Yeah, she was.
Well, then we made her a Minion afterwards.
Yeah, there was Latanya too.
Latanya Wilson, who I dated at 17. High school. What happened to her?
I don't know. I like to see her now.
Yeah, she was interesting. She was in it.
I'm surprised.
One of those people in the group homes, like Angie and Kim and those other ones were. That Pine Hill would send some of the. They would bring in some kids on the bus from the group home thing where foster parents and stuff were involved because their parents' family life was messed up. So they go to these foster group home things.
Yeah. And
then they'd ship them into Pine Hill. We weren't that, but they were, so we equally thought that they were cool because they were totally cool because they were rebels and stuff. It was awesome.
They were Decepticons like us.
They were rebels, and I don't think there's anything wrong with them coming from group home at all. Didn't know what it was. I got to see one of the group homes. I got to go to the one that was Latanya was at. I got to go over there a couple times. They let me in. Which was interesting. They wouldn't normally do that, but because I was a nice guy, they let me in.
Yeah.
They weren't, okay, he's not going to do something bad. Wait, figure out a way to have them all escape or something. And some of them wanted to escape. They wanted to get in a car or a bus or something, take off.
Yeah, take on where though? It wasn't.
Where would you go? It's like,
It's not safe for girls to run away from home.
House C is not, or whatever they were back there, D. They kept changing the numbers every year. But yeah, it's like they're going to drive away from, that was upsetting trees back then. But I was like, where are they going to go? It's like, they can go. But yeah, so we're doing this little wraparound bumper thing to illustrate our little interview thingy, which didn't fly off the handle entirely. It got a little silly and hyper toward the end there, but yeah, it didn't entirely get ruined. What are you doing? What about Pine Hill? What about? Oh, well, you graduated from Pine Hill.
Yeah, I was determined.
87. Yeah.
I was determined to graduate from high school. No way in hell would I be a dropout. That was
year and a half to
unacceptable.
Pine Hill. You graduated 87. So yeah. Then what happened?
And then I didn't have a brain for college. I couldn't do it. My mom gave me, or somebody, or one of my mom's friends gave her some books and everything with college courses, and I tried to do it and everything, but I just couldn't get it. It made me mad too. I wanted to go to college.
Well, now you can take college courses online.
Yeah, I know, but you have to have a brain to know what they're talking about. And like I said, my math sucks.
My math sucked too from Pine Hill. I didn't learn much from it. I graduated early from Pine Hill, 89, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do it the regular way. Yeah, I was better at English and writing and reading and putting down things.
That's for
reading. I was like a voracious reader and read a lot of stuff.
That was my strong suit too.
I had nothing else to do on the bus.
Reading and writing, doing history and everything. I was really good at that. So I just couldn't do that stupid math. It made me mad.
English degree.
Why can't I get it? Why can't I get math? That's one big R and everything on my life.
Arithmetic.
One regret. The big R.
The big R.
But I got everything else, and so I graduated, so I don't even care anymore. I got out of there. Like I said, I barely remember Pine Hill. Something's wrong with my brain.
Oh, Pine Hill.
You remember more about Pine Hill than I do and everything. If you bring things up about Pine Hill, and I'll remember it.
Yeah, Decepticons. Let's see.
I had a lot of girlfriends in Pine Hill.
Ooh. Yeah, girlfriends.
About the same time too.
Yeah, we were just socially awkward, and I guess in regular real life it didn't happen so much.
Kind of like the Big Bang Theory and everything, except we didn't. Well, actually, we did have a hot chicks with us.
Oh yeah, Angie. He doesn't mind us really. we were commenting, and the Big Bang Theory is very much like On Location would be if we were in an apartment, which I pointed out too. So I guess there's really not much more about Pine Hill, except that it was weird, but we liked it because it was just for us back then.
It was a perfect fit for me.
It was.
I came from Santa Teresa High School and everything, where basically was.
So you were already a junior at Santa Teresa High School, or you were already a junior?
No, I was a sophomore.
Sophomore.
I wasn't a junior. No, I wasn't a junior. I had 2 years at Pine Hill, and completed my studies and graduated from Pine Hill because I was determined to graduate. No way in hell and everything was I going to be a dropout. Fuck that. I can't do that and everything. So graduated.
Reminisce about the yes, we're concluding that now. So that was Jimticon, the Decepticon leader of the Minions. Must kill all the humans.
Must kill all humans.
Destroy them.
Decepticons rule the world.
Decepticons.
Prime is dead.
Prime is dead. Interesting. Okay, fine. However, they didn't know, but I was actually playing Jim's character of Galvatron in Transtag. It wasn't him, it was me. He was only in the earlier trans, and he was in Starcrafters as himself. He didn't want to play the hyperactive Thompson character. So I was playing him so well they thought it was him. But they just cast him. They should. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. For the ramming. Cat's back up on the box. Long live Prime. Beavis and Butthead. I don't care where you went to high school. But I just think these high school segments are interesting. I like that's what On Location was. So that's cool to see that in a video, because no TV station will have us. So you make your own. Make my own. Make my own, and so that'll happen.